We could ban. Oh, he doesn't drink it. Right, but I like to be asleep right now. I enjoy watching these.
Josh, use your hobo knife. Open the wine, please.
Yo, we're here live on the Superhero News Network for, I guess, kind of like a soft reboot. We're doing that old X-Men thing, you know? The X-Men thing. It's more so like Days of Future Past, but not really Days of Future. I guess it would be First Class. But guys, we're going to be...
just like Marvel every 6 months.
Yes, pretty much. The comic books, at least.
What's the new number one?
As you can see, we are joined by a new host here. Please welcome Tatiana to the team.
Hello.
In bittersweet news, though, and this would be the bitter part, Jezzer's leaving the show.
What?
Bye, guys.
I was sad about this at first, but he's been a dick to me since he got back to New York.
Well, I
Ever since
just
back to
got
New York,
here.
he's been all hype.
Hey, man.
wait.
I watched those streams on Saturday.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay, there. I'm sorry, Jezzer. My bad.
Time out. You think that's bad? I had to live with Jezzer for 5 days and hear
5 days.
and hear his shitty New York accent the whole time.
I was gonna say, it was only 5 days and it upset you that much. It must have been really bad.
And he wouldn't stop with it, and I'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you saying?"
I don't think
It was weird.
What does the New York accent sound like?
I don't know.
You don't know? You just happen
It's like
to
when
just
you.
came
It's
to
like when you
It's
go to
not
London.
Bishop Blackwing. No, you're X-Men. This is Cyclops. Bishop has 2 lines, homeboy.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead
Yeah,
with your.
give it to me.
I don't know. It's like when you go to.
Josh.
It's like when you go to London and you just kind of pick it up after being there for a while. You just hear like the local people.
Jezzer, you did not pick it up.
So you just...
That's the thing.
Crap.
Can you give us a taste of how
Yeah.
it sounded?
I can't remember.
Oh.
Imitation
We have to-
is
we have to
serious
bring back.
flattery?
He would always say, what would you would always say something like, "What are you saying?"
When is it that this happened?
Every morning we'd walk to the Javits Center,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I'd always hear Jezzer, "Hey, we're in New York," and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Oh my God.
And then he would stream like that, like he would wait till his vlog comes out. That's all he
Oh,
would do.
God.
You're like, I need a knish. I need a knish.
We already got a super chat. Moomin Rider is
Woo!
leaving and being a jerk to Johnny. Moomin Rider is you.
Being a jerk to Johnny.
Yes,
I'm not
exactly.
Moomin Rider.
Don't mess with me.
Okay, I'm not Moomin
Thank you,
Rider.
thank you, Toku.
No, Jezzer's
Bully.
not leaving the show. He's just leaving this show. He'll
Why
be
is
on
he leaving this show?
because you're coming into this show.
So you only got 3 people?
Yeah.
Yeah, we always only.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, so really like BR Troopers. We only
Sorry.
have 3.
It's fun.
Sorry I came
It's
to
totally
this.
cool. It's fun. Johnny killed me already.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
He left. He saw that I was dying. He just shot me in the head right there. This
It was a mercy
I did not old
Clearly.
Yeller Jezzer. I did not old Yeller Jezzer.
Oh,
Yeller.
He
The old
did.
Yeller.
He did.
If anything, I was like Wyatt Earp, like in what you call it, Tombstone. I came and saw you as Doc Holliday. I was like, no, Doc, no.
He said, "Go home," and then he's like, "All right, you're not going home." Bang.
There it is.
But yeah, so when we were in New York, there's. Have you ever heard of a pizza place called Sbarro's? It's amazing.
Yes! Oh my god, I love Sbarro's.
Yeah, it's the best pizza place.
Yeah.
That
In fact, I mean, they
authentic
have
New York
Sbarro's
pizza.
like at the
Authentic.
mall.
With
in
the
Texas.
water that's always there. I heard it's great.
Authentic New York
It is
pizza.
great.
Yeah.
100%. I heard it's the longest or the oldest pizza stand in New York. I've heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Oldest pizza in New York?
100% true.
So you guys had a lot of that?
We had it one night.
One night?
We
Only
kind of
one
had it one night.
night? What? Kind of had it.
Yeah, we will say we had it one
Wait,
night.
but while you were there, you definitely got the spaghetti because the spaghetti is what they're known for.
Oh no, we didn't have
No.
any
I
spaghetti.
mean, they
no.
say the pizza, but it's actually the spaghetti.
No.
The shitty water
Hello,
spaghetti.
Edward.
We
Edward
did
Sanchez.
eat. We did eat a lot of. I feel like we ate a lot of. We did eat a lot of pizza.
We had a lot of pizza.
So what other pizzas did you have if you weren't having
We had a lot of
Sbarro's?
chicken.
Two brothers. Two
Two
brothers.
brothers.
Yeah,
Okay.
Two Brothers. That's a decent
Not Fresh
pizza.
Brothers.
If there's
Two
a
brothers.
pizza, if you have a pizza where you can fold it and then eat it like that, that's perfect.
Oh my god,
pizza.
yes.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
then there was
perfect
hot. I was on a hot dog craving. I don't even think we ever got a hot. I think I got a hot dog at the Knicks game.
Yeah, you
That
got a
was
hot
about
dog.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, how was that? Madison Square Garden. Let's go.
MSG. It was fun. It's like let me tell you a funny story. So you know at like halftime where they shoot out the shirts
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like throw out the shirts. So the cheerleaders come out, right? Mm-hmm. They're doing their thing. They bring out their like
As
shirt
they do.
cannons, their catapults, whatever.
It's
they
not
look
just like a cannon. This thing was like a freaking.
It was a gauntlet gun. It was like a bazooka.
It was
Yeah,
like
a
it was
bazooka.
like a rail gun. It was just like rolling and.
So they
You
shoot
won
them
some
out.
shirts?
Well, no, not me. They shoot them out everywhere. They shoot one in our direction. Jezzer lunges for it because the row in front of us, there's nobody in.
Okay.
Jezzer lunges for it, and he gets it. But the guy in front of that seat grabs his hand.
He
and they're,
grabs
like,
my
fighting
hand and
for
then he
the-
starts squeezing it as if to make me
For
let
the
go of the
shirt?
shirt. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What shirt
you
was
serious?
it that they were
It
doing
was
A
just
Knicks
shooting
shirt.
regular Nick shirt.
Did you
Yeah.
not know you were from the mean streets of Oxnard?
but it's great. So Jezzer is, by the way, Jezzer is almost vertical. So I start flipping him out like the
my
rumble.
No, you did not. You just looked him out the road.
and then he starts. He's like,
Jezzer,
whoa.
both feet at the ground.
He's like, whoa. And I was like, oh shit. So I had to pull him back in. And then he doesn't care about his safety, and he just puts the shirt up.
It's
He's
all
like,
about that
I
shirt.
got it.
No.
I got it. Did you get it?
I
then?
did
Get
get
it.
the shirt.
And I hope
yeah.
you've been wearing it to make up
No,
for all
it's
that
an extra.
effort.
It's an extra large. I gave it to my boss for letting me go on my trip.
Oh, that's
Was that
cool.
worth
That's
it,
cool.
really?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
It's a nice
leaving,
gift for the
so.
boss.
That was quite fun.
I
What
gotta be
else?
real. Like, it looked dope on this, like watching all the like the Instagram stories and everything like that. And I heard from friends that New York Comic Con was dope too.
It was a lot of fun.
So much so that I think I'm going next year. I've decided.
It's a lot
I'm
of
gonna try
fun.
to
I have
go out there
never
on
been to New York
Saturday.
Comic Con,
We should all go
and
as
I
a
would
team.
love
It's
to
very
go.
chill.
We're gonna go
It's
as a
very
team.
relaxing.
All right. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
Josh
it
just
seems
was like to be
like it's
homeless in
much
another
like
city.
easier to do
Yeah.
than
That's
San
amazing.
Diego Comic Con.
What do you think San Diego was all about?
Oh yeah, good point. Everybody.
So no, yeah, I think that we should take a trip as a team to New York next year. It should be a lot of fun. And then, so the other thing, every time we go to New York, it seems like Jezzer and I but we always attach to a saying, right? So the first time we were out there, we would always kind of quote Batman Begins, because you would always see those carts out there. And you remember that scene where he's like, "Hey man, my kids gotta eat," and he goes, "What? Your kids don't like falafel?" That's all we would
Every
say.
single time. Every time we
single
pass the cart.
time.
What? Your kids don't like falafel?
Yeah.
When you pass a falafel cart.
Every single time.
Okay.
So now and I don't know why I even said this, but I was like, hey, I just told him, I was like, hey, you know what my favorite scene in Spider-Man is in Homecoming? And he's like, what? And I was like, remember that part where he's like, the guy's like at the hot dog vendor, and he's like, hey, you're that Spider guy on YouTube. And he goes, call me Spider-Man. He's
No,
like,
you gotta say it how you.
okay, Spider-Man, do a flip.
So what, you're saying, okay, Spider-Man, don't flip?
No, do a flip. And
Do a flip?
all we would see is Spider-Man cosplayer, so every
Okay.
single time.
Oh my
At
god.
least you have
like
a reason to say
Okay,
it.
Spider-Man,
Do a flip.
do a flip.
Spider-Man cosplayers were all over New
What's
York.
New York? The Spider-Man's amazing. But my question though, when you guys said it in New York, did you guys always say it to the Spider-Man with the accent?
He'd say it
in the
behind
voice?
We would always say
Yeah,
it
I do the
behind them.
voice.
Yeah.
And we would do the
Otherwise, what's
voice,
the
and then we go, yeah!
Do they do the flip?
Nobody ever did the flip.
So why do you say yeah?
I don't know, because it's part of the
You're like,
lines.
boo,
It's
boo
part of
them
the
until they
lines.
do
Oh
the
no!
flip.
Well, in the movie he did the flip.
Yeah, no, I know, but if
nobody
they're not
else
doing the
did
flip in real life, you
Yeah.
gotta shame them into it.
Yeah.
We did meet a few hashtag fans out there.
Oh no!
The very first day.
Did you guys see me Blackwing out there?
No.
Nope.
Blackwing, where were you? If I'm coming out there next year, you gotta be showing up. Where were you?
We met a couple the very first day.
Yeah. Definitely.
And it was by the Power Rangers.
It was by
and
the
they were
Power
like,
Rangers
wow,
section,
you guys
yeah.
are MASH action. It was pretty crazy. But you guys in New York, you guys are awesome. And here we are to talk about superheroes, because we've rambled on enough. And there's enough of you guys in here now. So, number one, I want to talk about the biggest shakeup, possibly the biggest mistake that Marvel
Oh,
made.
wow.
Was like by letting James Gunn go. However, is this really a bad thing? Because look, they also let Joss Whedon go. Justice League did not turn out the way they thought it
Right.
was going to.
Right.
So let's really talk about this James Gunn situation. Jezzer, I'm going to start with you because you're the size of Rocket Raccoon.
I love it. I love what the possibilities of what he can do. He's worked with a big ensemble cast, and I think that we could there were some pictures. I think Boss Logic did a little edit of Dave Bautista as Bane.
And then you see what Dave Bautista wrote back?
Huh?
You see what Dave Bautista wrote
No, I
back?
didn't.
Did he do
saw it.
anything
He
like
said,
James Gunn?
where do I sign up?
Yeah.
Ooh. So I love it. I think it's gonna be awesome. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be the same situation with Joss Whedon. I think that he's gonna be a little bit more motivated to create something amazing with DC. So I think it's great.
He thinks it's great.
Yeah.
Tatiana, moving on to you. Do you think that Suicide Squad 2 is the right fit for James Gunn?
I feel like Suicide Squad wanted to be like Guardians of the Galaxy, so it makes sense that if James Gunn is going to DC, that he would take on Suicide Squad. I heard that it's going to be like less of a sequel and more of like a newfangled take on Suicide Squad. I don't know if that's the right choice. That seems a little strange to me. If you've already gone in one direction, you may as well
Continue
build on
with
that.
it. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, some people felt like they kind of messed up with the first.
I mean,
one.
they did.
Yeah.
They did. The villain was horrible.
Yeah.
But the characters, as they were presented, I thought were pretty good.
Okay.
So I don't know, but we'll see. I think that James Gunn has the right tone for it. The only thing is, he's got something to prove right now, so I'm sure he'll do his best as long as they see it through. Because WB/DC have been, having kind of a revolving door with the movies.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
We'll see if they stick it out this time.
Johnny, is Suicide Squad the movie that you thought that you'd choose James Gunn to do? Or what movie would you choose James Gunn to do if it was not Suicide Squad? And do you think he fits that world?
Oh, totally. Like, again, I agree with Tatiana. Like, when you watch, like, Suicide Squad, like, if you think about the comedy they're trying to do, you think about the music choices they were making, they were definitely trying to catch that Guardians of the Galaxy feeling. And so by bringing James Gunn in, I think you get a more accurate, like, storytelling. You get a more authentic voice there telling that story. And I think it's perfect for him. I think it's a great proving ground. And honestly, I was really excited for this move because it reminded me, like, back in the day when Jack Kirby left Marvel and went to DC.
Yeah.
And it was such a, like, epic time. And then what did Jack Kirby make while he was over there? He created the New Gods. And so, like, James Gunn coming to DC is, like, ushering kind of a new era for him, which is like really exciting. In addition to that, though, I was also thinking like on a grander scheme, like if they're looking for somebody like to kind of start building like their new universe or whatnot, James Gunn's the guy that can pull that off.
Do you think that that James Gunn, just his name alone, is going to be enough to get people into a Suicide Squad 2 movie?
Oh, heck yeah, of course. Like the thing about it is, the last Suicide Squad movie wasn't terrible.
Well,
like most of us came out of it saying
it was pretty bad.
it was bad, but I mean, it was as bad as like some of the other stuff they've done.
Enchantress. Oh, look at my power.
I feel like it was like really poorly constructed, but
Yeah.
there was like kernels of fun in there.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the thing about it was like also edited by a trailer park company.
Yep.
By a trailer company called Trailer Park. And so the thing about it was that it wasn't like an authentic movie.
It was edited by a trailer park company, which means
sounds like they were
people
at a
that
trailer
lease
park.
trailer
Yeah,
parks
it sounds
that
like-
were just like,
Sorry.
hey,
Sorry.
we have iMovie. We got iMovie. We can also do your trailers.
Blackwing
We
was
got
so
some
right.
Bud Light.
Enchantress was terrible.
So you do think that James Gunn's name is enough of a draw to unleash the fans upon the DC universe?
Pretty much, yeah. Like the cool thing about what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy is that he sold himself as the driving force behind that movie. We all know the real truth that there was another writer who wrote that before he did, and then he kind of came and put his like James Gunn like stamp on it and everything like that. But the common person thinks it's James Gunn who did Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
So the common person will be like, oh, he went and did Suicide Squad. I'll give it another chance. Plus, if I had to grade Suicide Squad, the last movie, I'd give it like a C minus.
I'll give it a C minus. I'll give it a C minus.
Yeah, so it was bad, but I'm not saying, but it has like redemptive qualities.
Wait, I gotta know real quick because I know that you're on the, if there was a side, you're on the DC side.
Yeah.
I know that you lean more towards the Marvel side.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you're on the DC side.
Okay, I'm obsessed with DC, all things DC, but I hate their movies.
All right, so you're gonna fit right
Wait,
in.
but do you like those animated movies?
Yes, I love
See,
their animated
they have
movies,
the structure there. They just need to.
I feel like they need
build
to
off
get
that.
more of the people from the animated side
definitely.
into their
So
live action.
What's
like Jim Krieg. Jim
Yeah.
Krieg is
Yeah.
great.
What's interesting, the guy who wrote Justice League War is a comic writer. He wrote some comic stuff, and then
Yeah.
he went and wrote Justice League War, and it was a singular vision done by him, like with a little bit of feedback. But it's interesting. He said he's wanted to try to get into the movie world, but for some reason they won't trust their comic people over there.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Justice League War, I thought, was written by Jeff Johns.
No.
The comic.
The comic, you mean the original JLA run? That he based it off of?
Yeah.
So that was Jeff Johns and Jim Lee. But when they adapted it for Justice League War, it was done by the guy, I can't remember his name, but he did the new Bizarro series that dropped like a while back, like 2 years ago. He wrote that, and that's the reason why there was like so much comedy in it and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
I've talked to a few of the producers that did the
Hey, you cut
animated.
me off. I was in the middle of
that did some of the
just
animated
kidding.
films, and they said
It's the
that
last show, Joe.
they
It's
would.
the last show.
They said they would love to be part of like the cinematic universe. It's just there's too many hands in the pot.
That's okay. They need their own version of Kevin Feige. That's what DC needs. They need one unified vision
Yeah.
that's gonna bring everyone in. You know.
No, yeah.
Tatiana, so for a lot of people that don't know you, because this is not technically your first time on our show, but this is your first time actually being a part of our cast.
Yes.
Just to give people a little taste of your knowledge about comic books, we do have to say you're part of one of the best Flash podcasts on the internet.
Thank you.
But so just to give people, I want to get people a little caught up on who you are.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're going to have to end up doing a spotlight and more on that later. But you'll figure out what that is.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Be scared. Be very scared.
I am
it's
scared.
not bad,
I'm
it's not
afraid.
bad. But so we know that you're part of a Flash podcast.
Yes.
Give me a little bit of your comic book lineage and even movie, kind of like comic book movie lineage of. So just to let the people know that
So
you
my
actually have
great-great-grandfather-
credentials here.
First, passed out. No.
Chester's like, oh really?
No, I was like, wait, hold on.
No, I was like, wait, what's
It's
about to
going
happen
nowhere.
here?
It's going nowhere. I have read almost every Flash comic because it's like specifically I'm obsessed with the Flash.
Wait. Like
Which Flash?
Like how much
Like
Flash?
I mean, like I was like, well, let me start at the Golden Age with
Whoa.
Jay Garrick.
Whoa, are you
and
serious?
Then, and then I was like, I can't do it. It's too fucking boring. So then I was like, okay, now it's Silver Age time. So I've read everything from Barry Allen's appearance in Showcase through his death.
Good lord.
And then I'm currently reading the Wally West stuff.
On the count of three, everyone say their favorite Flash. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Barry
Wally
Allen.
West.
Barry Allen, yeah.
You didn't say one.
It was so hard to choose, but Wally West, yeah.
Yeah, I think Wally. I mean, obviously, I think Wally West is a more interesting character because he came at a time
And because
in the
he is
comics
the
when
character
characters
that's
were more
on the
interesting.
TV show.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I wouldn't go that far. I don't think he's like all the way.
That's not Barry.
But no, it's not Barry, obviously, because Barry's like super like straight laced, just like.
Yeah.
But
So it's
yeah.
a hybrid of Barry.
It's like a
and Wally.
hybrid. I think it's like a hybrid of Barry.
Do you think
and
their
Wally.
Wally is like Wally?
Their Wally is like New 52 Wally a little bit more. Like,
We got a super chat by Toku Kid. He says, "Be scared of the spotlights. Jezzer's was 3 hours, but
my
Jezzer's
God.
had a lot to dig into."
yeah, I don't have a lot. I'm so.
By the way, I will give props. I finally sat down and watched the spotlights. Good job.
What?
It was
You-
so
wait,
long.
weren't
It was
you
so
here?
long. No,
You weren't here?
I'm never for the spotlights.
So wait,
Oh.
what is the spotlight? Is it literally just like you ask them questions
It's
until they die?
it's a one-on-one.
It's like
in-depth
inside the
interview.
actor studio.
It's
Oh
a
my
one-on-one
God.
in-depth interview with each one of our cast members.
Oh no, I don't have.
Johnny's
enough
trying to
say
get
about
out of the
that.
next one. He's oh, I can't make it because he was scheduled to do the next one. I think
was.
Kelly is
Mm-hmm.
now, but Johnny's doing the one after.
So here's the thing. The reason why I can't make it is because a friend of mine hit me up like 2 weeks ago. Was like, "Oh, we have tickets to the new Drake concert." And I was like,
Sure.
"Aubrey,
Sure.
Jimmy, I'm on board. Let's go."
I too would go to
Degrassi.
that.
Drake.
I too would go to the Aubrey
Exactly,
Graham
exactly.
concert,
I was like,
obviously.
go to a Drake concert, be grilled by Joe. Drake concert, be grilled
It's
by
not
Anyway,
Joe.
grilling,
I
it's not a
haven't
grilling.
only read
Yeah.
Flash comics. I do read most of whatever DC comics I can get my hands on, and I started reading Marvel like more exuberantly with when the Miss Marvel came out with Kamala Khan.
Well,
And I
you're in a
was like,
place where you can
"Woo!"
get your hands on so
Yes.
many comics.
Yes, I
at
come
the
here every
Comic
week,
Club.
except for when I forget, and then I come back and I have to spend $90 because I didn't spend money every week.
We all get there.
Wait, question. So you're in the Wally West run right now. What part are you in the Wally West run?
I'm actually reading the Cicada part right now.
The which one?
Cicada?
Cicada, because that's
Oh,
the villain
perfect.
right now.
Oh,
for the
dope.
season.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So.
Are you excited about Chris Klein being Cicada?
I am. You know what? I loved American Pie, and I want to see.
That was like I was surprised with that casting. I was
Yeah, I was very surprised, but I'm interested. I'm interested.
We're gonna move on to our next subject,
All right.
which is Captain Marvel.
like, Marvel.
Captain Marvel. It seems like Brie Larson is signed on for 7 movies.
Jeez.
Oh my
Hero.
God.
So now it seems. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but if you look at Chris
Yeah.
Evans and
Yeah, I
Robert
was
Downey
gonna say
Jr.,
it's
It's not
really
that
it's
much
kind
now.
of in line with what the others have done.
but it's not just Captain Marvel movies. It seems like she's going to be appearing throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and not only that, but being the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Tatiana? Why don't you kick us off with?
as a woman,
I was going to say that.
Dang it, Joe.
But
First day.
why don't you kick us off and let us and tell me how you want to see them use Brie Larson and Captain Marvel going forward in the Marvel Cinematic?
well, I mean, like you mentioned already, Captain America. I kind of see her as the new Captain America. You know, like everyone's been talking about, like, well, who's going to take over as Captain America? But you've got Captain Marvel here, who is the most powerful being in the universe, pretty much. And she's also got that same quality of kind of having to get caught up on Earth, right? Like, what's going on over here? How do I relate to these
Fish
people?
out of water
Yeah,
story.
exactly. So I definitely want to see her sort of like getting her feet wet, getting herself back on the ground on Earth, and comparing that to just like how powerful she is. And I think that a great way to do that is also to find herself a mentorship, right? To find herself a little Miss Marvel, find Kamala Khan, and mentor her. That is my end game.
Johnny, to you, who would you like to see Captain Marvel team up with in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? If she were to appear in another franchise, what said franchise would you like to see her in?
Oh wow. Good question. Definitely. Honestly, I think she'd be a great transition to bring in the Fantastic Four.
Ooh.
Because the thing about it is, though, is that now that they have the property back and they have this, and then that the Fantastic Four is all about the cosmic stuff,
Right.
going to space, finding the scrolls, and all these different things. I think she'd be a great transition for that, and to kind of help bring them along.
Yeah, because you could always have her like drop in hints, right? And then
Jezzer, Captain Marvel, excited or not excited?
Pretty excited. Pretty
Why?
excited. I love the '90s. I want to see.
I love
where,
the 90s.
I want to see I want to see her story. I want to
VH1.
see where she is in the timeline, because I want to learn more about what's the character from the first Guardians, who's in.
oh
on
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Ronan?
Yeah, Ronan.
Not Ronan.
Not
the other
Ronan?
guy.
Who's not
the one
Ronan?
that died
Oh,
at the
what's
what
his
is
name? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaemon Hansu's character.
Sure, that guy.
And I want to learn Jude Law's character. There's this whole team.
Yeah, because I thought Jude Law was going to be Marvel, but now it seems like that's not the
Well,
case. Now he's going to be like.
I was on set for that, and even in the articles, they play coy. Nobody says who he's playing.
Okay.
I have a feeling there's a huge plot twist why that's
Yeah.
the case, but nobody's saying.
Because
it.
didn't she have like mentor in the comics that turns
Yeah,
evil.
Captain Marvel. Oh,
evil.
Oh,
not,
no, hope not Marvel.
Not Marvel.
No.
There's another one.
Not Jan Rog. I think he's Jan Rog though, but
Oh,
that's
okay.
me.
Not wrong.
I gotta say though, I do hope the second trailer is like hits a little bit more because the interesting thing about like I
You
was
were
saying,
underwhelmed.
well, here's the thing. Like I told you guys before when I saw it.
Sexist.
Please, anyway.
How dare you?
Anyway.
Underwhelmed?
No, here's the thing. Like when I
Oh,
saw
it's
it.
only the first
Oh
female
my
Marvel
god!
hero.
Oh
sorry.
my gosh!
Sorry,
Can a black man speak? Racist. Racist.
Misogynist.
Racist. So anyway, so
Let me get Al Bundy with his no ma'am shirts on.
Oh man, he can't even finish his sentence.
exactly.
Just give up. Just give up.
So here's the thing. So what's interesting is like, because again, you guys know I teach. Like when I talk to my students about the trailer, because again, like we talk about stuff like my kids when they saw Venom and they're all like, "Mister, you're gonna go see it?" I was like, "No, it looks like hot garbage."
Mister, I'm gonna start
But-
calling you Mister.
Mister.
Don't you do it. But the thing about this was that they all said they actually liked it. When they talked about the Captain Marvel trailer, a lot of them were like, it looks all right. Because, again, I know what it's about. Because, again, I've read Kelly Sue the comics.
Right.
I see the hints that the criminals like, oh, this is going to be dope.
The what?
But the hints that they've dropped.
Hints that they've dropped.
Exactly. Well, like, her as a child, her as, like,
Right.
in the military, her as, like, Captain Marvel. It's going to be, like, a whole, like, lifespan movie. It's going to be, like, really deep and dope. But, again, I hope the next trailer hits a little bit harder. Because right now, it doesn't seem like the buzz is there. Like, I think about when the first Guardians of the Galaxy trailer dropped.
That's true.
It kind of, like, sold all. Someone's like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, we're going on board for this. But with Captain Marvel, I'm like, y'all got to sell a little bit harder. Like, that blockbuster like, little thing is going to do it.
It's the first trailer.
I
mean,
know,
guess
I
they've
agree.
just
I agree.
been in
I
the
just want them to
circles.
just
Give
come
them some
apart.
time,
Already
Mister.
hype, So,
I hate you. I hate you.
Wait a minute, time out.
Right.
You actually, Johnny brings up a good point, and I want to go to Jezzer on this. When's the last trailer for Marvel that you were kind of underwhelmed by?
Ooh,
Would it be Ant-Man and the Wasp, maybe?
I think Doctor Strange.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah, and even after watching the movie, I really didn't.
you were underwhelmed. Is what you're
Yeah, I was
saying, right?
underwhelmed
Yeah,
by the
same.
movie. All.
I was
all in
underwhelmed
all.
by Doctor Strange, for sure.
So now, and for you, Captain Marvel.
No, because the thing was, when I watched it, I get what they're doing, and I saw the Nas there, so I wasn't underwhelmed. I was still like, oh, okay, this is going to be
Did you
dope.
say Nas? Nas the rapper?
Nods.
Oh, Nods. Sorry.
What is happening today?
Sorry, Mister. I didn't hear
I
what
hate you
said.
so much. I guess the last one that maybe underwhelmed me would probably be, like, it's been a while, but it was probably, honestly, Thor: The Dark World.
The trailer.
The trailer.
That's a long
And
time
movie,
ago.
of
It
course.
was, but honestly, because everything else has been good. Like even like the last like the Avengers movies, Ant-Man, I was excited for that one because I like Ant-Man and the Wasp. And Doctor Strange, I like the whole thing that we're doing right there. So because it looked like what's the name of that movie? Leonardo DiCaprio where the worlds are floating over and stuff like
Inception.
that. Inception. It had a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
Inception type vibe with magic. So I was like, cool, I'm on board for this one too. What about you? Was this one underwhelmed you?
Whew. I would probably say I think I agree with Jezzer. I think it's actually Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I thought the trailer always looked cool, but the movie kind of just didn't live up to it either for me.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
So I mean, that might have been it for me. Actually, no. Maybe Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Really?
The trailer underwhelmed you? Or
I don't.
the
Even,
movie?
I can't even remember
Because the
trailer.
movie underwhelmed me for sure. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, Baby Groot. I honestly don't remember the trailer that well, so maybe I would say Guardians too.
I think my favorite part of that movie was that intro scene with Groot, and that's
That
it.
was.
That's
oh,
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was something about it too. Not that this is a tangent, but like one really had all like the magic ingredients, and then two kind of.
I think
Honestly-
I think was with one we didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
From.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on.
Oh wait. One last question.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mister.
Okay, sorry. So here's the thing. So Captain Marvel, because you brought up an interesting point, is that Captain Marvel is supposed to be like the new Captain America or whatnot. And the whole thing is that as we get like these new slate of films, some of those older actors and like those older characters are going to kind of like be phased out. So no more Iron Man, possibly no more Captain America, no more Thor, so on and so forth. So let me just ask you this: like, out of those like originals, who are you going to miss most, and who you kind of wish would stay around?
Well, I think it's already pretty clear who's gonna stay and who's gonna go. I think Thor's staying. I think Black Widow's gonna die in Avengers 4, but she's staying because she's gonna get her own movie. I think that might be the only two.
Okay, but who would you
stay.
want to stay? Like, who's leaving?
I mean, look, I don't think Captain America's gonna die, but I definitely think his contract's over.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna stay in the past. But I would go as far to say I don't care if any of them stay. And the reason I say that is Marvel's so rich with characters that you can focus in on now the Black Panther. You can focus in on Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. And there's so many other characters you can explore that I think are kind of like, look, right now in that poster of Infinity War, we're just seeing a lot of the characters from Phase 1, but the universe is so vast, right? And now we're going to get the infusion of the X-Men and the Fantastic
Phase
Four.
four.
So I think the world is going to be grand, and honestly, they don't actually have to get rid of any of these characters. You can have Robert Downey Jr. appear way later on down the line as Tony Stark still, because if you look at the way that the trajectory of the universe was going, Tony Stark wasn't as big of a thing as he was when the universe kind of started. So, and another thing too is like, I almost think that without Steve Rogers, Bucky's character almost doesn't make sense. And it's almost kind of done. But all right, well, let's move on to our next topic. I mean, that's what I think.
I agree with you. I love Tony Stark and Iron Man, but by the time that he was showing up in Spider-Man, I was like, stop. Let Peter have this. So I'm ready for the new
So Jonathan,
But I didn't say mine.
about Captain Marvel?
I was asking a question. Can I answer the
He
question?
wants to answer some questions.
Yeah, go ahead,
answer,
answer your own
mister.
question.
Well, if I must. Honestly, to be real, like I agree with you guys. Like Iron Man, I'm kind of cool with him phasing out because he has been used a lot. But honestly, somebody who kind of feel his like just hit a stride is Captain America. Like Steve Rogers in that last movie. Like I remember that one moment we showed up at the train station. The train goes by, the audience just kind of erupted, and I just kind of feel like, you know what? He is kind of like Marvel's Superman in a couple of ways because he's that moral compass. So even though I know his contract's ending, I would like to see him like probably hang around a little bit.
Okay. Captain America's your choice. Now, let's move on to the comic book news. Johnny, this is really where you kind of shine here. Johnny's pull list.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. Jezzer, it's your last time here. My theme song, please.
Johnny's pool list.
That's the theme song.
It's best
I
man
forgot.
get.
I forgot what the theme song was.
Oh my God, Jezzer, you have one job.
You have to record it then when you're not
I
here.
know.
All right, so let's talk about this real quick. And before we get into your actual pull list, let's talk about X-Men Black. Chat me up on what's going on with this.
This is you because you're the X-Men for not. You know more about.
I
this than
do. So X-Men Black is going to kind of be the relaunch of Uncanny X-Men. As we know, the X-Men's kind of hit a creative rut when they kind of did the X-Men Gold, Black, and Red. Nobody gave a shit.
Blue.
So Gold, Blue. What did I say? Black.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you said black.
no.
See, you cared so little.
Gold,
that
blue,
you
and
don't
red.
even know the-
Honestly, people cared, but the whole controversy with that like anti-Semitic dude,
Yeah, that's
kind of
true.
ruined that.
That's
Like,
true. But also the
right before
teams-
that happened, like people were like, "Oh, I'm on board." Then that happened. It was like it just kind of went downhill.
The teams weren't great either.
Yeah.
They weren't split. I mean, the last time I think the X-Men were great was when Brian Michael Bendis was writing them. Now he's a DC guy. So
Defection.
now, we're gonna have to figure this out. So we can already tell that X-Men Black is setting up probably what we're going to be seeing in the X-Men universe for the foreseeable future. Now, I don't think that there's any mistake here that all 5 covers are villains per se. So who knows what's going to happen? I'm excited for Uncanny X-Men.
I agree with you, and honestly, I've been doing just a little bit of reading to like the things they've been like advertising about though, and it's kind of fucking dope. Excuse me, we only get one, but that was my one. All right, but so the thing about this was like, for example, Mystique. So we've been complaining for a long time about how they've used Jennifer Garner in the movie and everything like that.
Jennifer
about,
Lawrence.
If Jennifer Garner were in
Jennifer
that
Garner,
movie,
They would be so much better.
Okay,
Jennifer
no
Lawrence,
problem.
yes.
Sorry, Jennifer Lawrence, J-Law. But the thing about this was that they literally put out the advert for this. They're saying like, oh no, she's a villain. She wakes up in the morning, she's an assassin for hire. Before breakfast, she's killed 3 people, so on and so forth. So they're bringing back Mystique as like old school Mystique the villain, even with her original costume on there. So I gotta be real, like I'm excited for this. And like the Juggernaut looks legit because there was that long time he was in limbo, he was kind of like a hero. So I'm excited for him to come back like this.
well, there is Mojo on there, and it
Oh,
seems
God.
to me when I look at those 5, which one is not like the others? Like Mojo does not fit into that group. That should either be Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, but Mojo?
I read that it's going to be about him, like, can he love? And I was like, do we need to know if Mojo can love? Is that necessary?
Oh. Mojo Jojo.
Boys, let
Wrong
me ask you
guy.
this though, Emma Frost.
What?
Do we want her to come back as a villain? Because she's been a hero for a long time now. Do we want her as a villain
They've
again?
kind of been prepping her as a villain in the last few issues.
You think so?
Of one of the colors.
I could care less. I just want to see the X-Men back to their glory with Scott leading the team. Maybe bring Logan back. I want to see the X-Men back. All right, now let's move. Can we move on? Was our last one, or are we doing the Guardians? Oh, pull list.
So, for my pull list this week, my choice was Titans number 27. It dropped this week, and it was really cool because it's just after we saw the Heroes in Crisis storyline, which we talked about, where we saw like all the death and everything like that. We lost Roy, and we lost Wally and everything. So, I was really excited to read this because, again, we kind of have the original Titans there and see how they deal with this. We had Beast Boy, we had Donna Troy, we had Raven, and we had Miss Martian. So, I was excited to see how this goes. But to be honest with you, I was really disappointed by the writing on this. Because, like, in the opening scenes, like the first 3 pages, it's like Donna Troy going and kind of like dropping off like a single like rose at Roy Harper's grave, and you're like, okay, what about Wally?
Right.
And then so that's like really weird. And then after that, the rest of the issue, I kid you not, it's them all complaining about how Nightwing was just recently shot.
Yeah.
So Nightwing was really shot in the head. It's all them like dealing with like Nightwing being shot, Nightwing not coming back to the team. And then someone's like, well, we should go to him. I was like, no, we can't go to him. I'm like, why not? And it's like really random. So it kind of shows that like honestly the issue kind of flags the luster, and I don't blame the writer for this. I blame the DC editorial department.
Yes.
You see these first 3 pages as like a last minute thing they just kind of shoved in there. It was like, oh, we killed Rory and Wally. We need to put something in Titus to kind of reference this. But then the rest of the story just feels out of place because we know that they've lost like Roy, we lost Wally. If this team had known that, they'd be like in deep mourning. It would be like distraught. But again, it really throws off the issue because of the events happening in other books.
Wait, he got shot in the head?
Yeah, in Batman.
In Batman, yeah.
Oh, grazed him.
Yeah, and so it grazes him and everything like that. And then last week I reviewed the new Nightwing book, and so he actually gets a little bit of amnesia from this. He does remember everything, and so he's become this new this new Nightwing, who's really acting a lot like Jason Todd.
Oh.
He shaves his head. He's like living in Bloodhaven. He wears a leather jacket. He's like being homeless and everything like that,
my
just
God.
like breaking into people's houses, sleeping in beds. Like, kid you not, he's
Well,
living
now
like Josh.
Josh has somebody to like
Weird.
cosplay as.
I know.
Oh.
So what do you rank this? Should people pick it up and pass on it? What's the deal?
Pass. Like here's the thing, as much as I love the tie-ins, and you've heard me like say before, I love this group, this issue just kind of falls flat. It's maybe because of the editorial department, because I think DC was trying to protect the secrets of Heroes in Crisis so much that they didn't tell the writer of this book, and things kind of just like fell flat.
Mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, I think that one thing is for sure, DC editorial is falling apart because Batman's penis was in a comic. Let's move on to our next topic. This is going to bring us to the web slinger himself. Okay, Spider-Man, do a flip. So we're going to talk about some Spider-Man Far From Home leaks. We got some images from Spider-Man Far From Home. Let's pull those images
He's
up.
on a boat.
But I do want to talk about, before we get into those images, Mysterio being the villain. Tatiana, chat me up on if you think Mysterio's the right villain for Far From Home.
I don't really know about Mysterio being the right villain, but I'm excited to see Jake Gyllenhaal being the villain. And I think, because he was once upon a time maybe going to be Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, he was supposed to be him in 3, I think.
Because Tobey Maguire injured himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now he'll finally get to fulfill that fantasy, but on the flip side.
Yeah.
So, I
Just
don't
because
know.
he got hurt on Seabiscuit, right?
Yeah, because of Seabiscuit,
Let's
right?
check some of these out for a second. Now, there is Spider-Man and Nick Fury
On a boat.
on a boat, mother. Can't say it.
So we really only get one?
Yeah.
All right, I already used mine.
Did you use yours?
I did, and I thought you made a face, and I was like, we're not supposed to say that.
No. Jezzer,
get one.
chat me up about this. Now that we know that both, what if this happens in the alternate universe where they all disappeared to? Yeah, just kidding. That's really
No.
But we do know that this is going to take place primarily in Europe. We do see Nick Fury with Spider-Man. So, Jezzer, what are you hoping to see out of Spider-Man Far From Home?
What I'm hoping to see a little darker side to Spider-Man, because he's still lighthearted and he's still brand new to all this. But I want to see, maybe have him see some loss, man, get a little gritty, a little dark. But yeah, I think Nick Fury's a little spot here is just like a quick cameo where he's picking him up and dropping him off somewhere. I don't think he's going to be in the whole movie.
Really? So there's a big rumor going around, Tatiana, that Gwyneth Paltrow's in the movie, but Robert Downey Jr. is not. Does this foreshadow that Tony Stark will not be returning to the Marvel Cinematic
I
Universe?
think it's very possible that Tony Stark will die and leave a little Tony Stark in Pepper Potts' belly.
Whoa.
A little Tony Stark?
A little Tony Stark.
A
Or
little Tony Stark.
Tony Antonetta, maybe. Okay. Either way. So yes, I do think it's very likely that he will die or disappear.
Do you think Pepper Potts disappeared in the Thanos snap? That's something that was
No.
kind of unresolved.
Sorry.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
Pepper Potts is still around?
No, they took away a lot of other people to give that same motivation to. Like, for example, Ant-Man has that motivation, losing his love and like his new family, everything like that. I don't think they want to keep repeating that, so I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because I think Tony already has enough emotional motivation to do that scene with Spider-Man. Where he's like, Mr. Stark, I'm scared. Like, that's enough emotional motivation right there. So I think he'll be sticking around. I will say this though, like, I'm excited for this scene because what's cool is like Spider-Man's always traditionally like in the city, like web slinging around everything like that. See him out here like in the forest, like in these areas like this. I think we're gonna get a chance to see a Spider-Man we really haven't seen before.
Speaking of a Spider-Man we really haven't seen before, let's talk costumes. That looks to me like a different Spider-Man suit. And we've seen other leaked photos that have happened, but do you think we're going to start seeing a variation of different Spider-Man costumes? I think Jezzer had mentioned that there's one that looks like the Spider-Man Noir suit. Is that the one we're looking at here, or is there was another one?
No, there's another one where it's all black in leather. And
So let's just talk
goggles.
about these for a second. Do you think that with these different spider suits, Tony Stark's going to be more influential, or how do you think he's starting to get all these different suits?
I think he might be getting them from somewhere else. The look of the noir suit. I don't know if it's a noir suit.
More steampunkish?
Yeah, steampunkish. It looks like he kind of just like found it, or someone
In the garbage.
not from the garbage, but I don't think it's from Tony Stark. It's not. I don't think it's Stark tech.
Yeah.
Tatiana, what do you think that we're gonna? What kind of storylines we exploring in this story in Spider-Man: Far From Home?
He's gonna be far from home.
Well, that's without saying.
No, I do think that it's going to have to deal something with the repercussions of Infinity War and whatever Infinity War 2 is. Just like you were saying already, kind of a darker tone, and maybe him being a little bit more desperate to save people because of all the people that he's already lost. So.
Or it also could mean that Tony Stark is dying, and when Tony Stark tells him at the end, "With great power comes great responsibility,"
He's the
fulfilling
new
that
Uncle
role. It's
Ben.
Like, there, look at
Please
that
don't.
suit. That's
Please
that new
don't.
Irish suit.
Please no.
No,
do you
but
think?
here's one thing I
That's
do like
dope.
about these different outfits.
I like
is-
this.
Looks like a
it's
foot
just that
soldier.
It's good to see that. I think that it means that Peter will be a little bit out of Tony's influence. Like maybe he will, be
Darker.
affected
A
by what
different
happened
Star- a
to
different
Tony.
Peter.
Yeah, but he's going to be coming out of that shadow more because he was very much in Tony's shadow.
I
in
do
this movie.
think we are going to get the last lines. With great power comes great responsibility from Tony Stark.
Why do you hate this line? It's iconic.
It is iconic, but I like it come from Uncle Ben more.
That's
But Uncle
true.
Ben doesn't necessarily exist in this
I
universe.
guess it could come
Well,
from
we don't
Aunt
know
May.
that yet, because it kind of like, remember in his first appearance, he was kind of like, I kind of learned like when you don't do something, it's like your fault, and he kind of hinted at it there. So I think he may have, but again, we don't have a solidified answer yet.
I think all this is retcon, though. I mean, you look when in the comics, Hank Pym's not an 80-year-old man. I mean, there's a
Wait, he is. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Hank
Sorry.
Pym's not.
Yeah.
Hope doesn't really even exist in the current in the actual comics.
Right.
So it's obviously a complete different take. You're just
True.
saying that as a traditionalist, you're not okay with
It's
it.
not
being
really
there.
as a traditionalist. It's kind of like what I've said before. Like a lot of times, there's those things that are kind of like the heart of the character. A lot of times, those things are driving forces. And I always kind of felt that Uncle Ben, the guy who raised him, the guy who's like took care of him when he was like this orphan, who he's kind of like indebted to because again he didn't have parents and all this kind of stuff, who took him in out with the generosity of his heart and everything like that. He kind of feels like when he let him down, it was like kind of the ultimate failure.
Right.
And I feel that just plays a very like heavy role in his heart. It's like for somebody
Why,
else to
why
say
can't
it,
Tony Stark be that role?
I don't know, because it would be like somebody else dying and Bruce Wayne becoming Batman.
Yeah. But didn't you feel like that was kind of missing from Spider-Man: Homecoming? Like the fact that they didn't include the backstory with Ben.
The only reason why I didn't complain about it is because I kind of felt, and it was a smart decision on Marvel's part, we've seen the origins so many times.
Right.
Like, if you think every time they do a Batman film, we see the same gun go off, the
Yeah.
pearls falling down.
But
like,
not
nothing
even
go-
to like suggest that that's affected him. I don't
Yeah.
know, that's what
If I have to see a fucking Thomas Wayne die again, I'm gonna lose my. I'm gonna lose it.
Martha.
Martha.
Anyway, but I do
that's
want to
just
talk
me, though,
about
because
this
again,
because
Spider-Man
this
is my favorite character.
This is interesting though because I don't think it really matters. I think that they're setting up the universe enough where the surrogate father figure is Tony Stark.
I don't know,
It doesn't seem like Uncle Ben.
But see, the thing about it, I don't know, because I want to wait to see what they do. Because at the same time, though, it's like, what motivated him to put on the costume and be a hero? Because beforehand, like, when he got the powers, he was a typical teenager, like, I'm going to go out and have fun. I'm going to go do this and everything like that. So when Tony found him, he was already being a hero.
Yeah.
He had already made the web shooters, he was already doing the things, and he had said that statement, it's like, when you have the power to do something, you don't do it, like, that's on you. That was a way of saying with great power comes responsibility. So something happened to him before that. So I just want to know what happened to him before that. Is Peter just doing it out of the goodness of his heart? Or then Tony gives him further motivation? Because the thing about it is that he was already a hero before Tony showed up.
Yeah.
I don't
He just
disagree.
wasn't very good at it.
Yeah, he just wasn't very good at it. And I don't disagree with that. All right, so I do have a question for you, Tatiana. If we were to see another, because usually with as we saw in Homecoming, it wasn't just the Vulture. We got
Right.
a little bit of the Shocker in
Yes.
there.
And Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Yeah. Like a little cameo.
What characters besides Mysterio would you be excited to see as villains? Because Mysterio is the only one that's officially announced.
Yeah, I mean, like the ones I want to see are ones that are like kind of being taken by other studios, like Black Cat.
Well,
think it's
I don't think that movie is ever happening.
well, then perfect, Black Cat. That's what I
There's a
wanna
rumor.
see.
There's a big rumor going on about Black Cat. But
Yeah.
do you think that she plays into the villain, or do you think she plays more of an anti-hero?
I mean, an anti-hero, but what I want to see and what I felt was like what I liked so much about Homecoming was like seeing like him in like the little moments that he was trying to be a hero or that he was like saving the day or saving the neighborhoods. So instead of having like a bunch of like overarching villains or just like trying to like outpower each other, I kind of liked like the street level ones, you know, seeing how he saves individuals from kind of like not necessarily petty thieves, but like the smaller.
I mean, I
scale
think it's
villains.
quite interesting though that they're going with lesser known villains.
Yeah.
Mysterio being one of them, and in the last movie, the Vulture. But if you had to choose one of those lesser known villains in Spider-Man, who do you think fits into this world that you can easily see?
Who fits into the world that I can easily see? I don't even know. Like who are the lesser known Spider-Man villains? Because I don't know them.
Like the Chameleon.
Chameleon.
Oh, I heard the Chameleon possibly could be in that
Yeah?
Silver and Black
How
movie.
about
We're not sure.
that one clip from a few weeks ago with Hydro Man?
Hydra.
There's a rumor about that going
Yeah.
on. The Hydro Man might be one of them.
That could be dope.
Yeah, because like the ones that are like the cheesier villains, I think are fun just because they fit the tone of at least Homecoming. You know, I don't know how much Far From Home's going to change.
Right.
But those are the kinds of villains.
I mean,
that,
it'd be cool to have Scorpion come in.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should have Scorpion because
Well, they've
they
already
had.
hinted at him.
Isn't it okay? So I had heard that. They said that Scorpion wasn't in the movie or that they didn't have him listed anywhere, but that they had someone that was like an assistant to him that was listed.
Oh, Mike Mondo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, I mean, I hope that Scorpion is in there. I hope that you're right about that just because we know that Vulture's going to be back, right? So it makes sense.
Hopefully.
It was
Yeah.
that prison scene between the two,
Yeah,
the movie and everything like that.
because now he's indebted to Spider-Man because Spider-Man saved his daughter's life. So if he kind of helps Spider-Man against a villain like Scorpion, I think that'll be fun.
Speaking of Spider-Man villains, it seems like Sony is full-fledged committed to making Kraven the Hunter. They're gonna make a Kraven movie.
I don't understand.
Sony is in full throttle going along with this idea, but that's not it. It doesn't just stop there. There's also rumors that Spider-Man is going to be appearing in that movie.
Really?
Played
I think
by
he
Tom
kind of
Holland.
has to.
I was gonna say I would.
Really?
Yeah, he
He
has
has
to.
to.
But then again, I thought he would have had to for Venom. So.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
let's talk about this for a second because this is a little bit. This is really intriguing to me on a couple levels. Number one, John, I'm gonna throw this to you.
Sure.
Venom's obviously in theaters right now.
It's terrible. Hard garbage.
Do
haven't
you
even seen it.
Theaters on
need to make can you make a Venom movie without Spider-Man in your head?
No. Because the thing about it is, where's the character's motivation?
Yeah.
The thing about it is that they kind of skipped that and jumped straight to like the Venom anti-hero deal. And the thing about it is that and never all the advertising was like, oh, he's not a hero and blah blah. It's like the hell he is. He's pretty much a hero. He's a guy that's going around beating up villains and whatnot. He's not the anti-hero or the villain who like kind of redeems himself. He's pretty much just a hero. So without Spider-Man there, you don't get that complexity that you had with the original Eddie Brock and everything like that. And you miss out some great storytelling with a not dope villain. So yeah, that's me.
Tatiana, if Spider-Man is going to appear in this movie, how do you play Kraven in an age now where it's a guy that's kind of hunting
A boy.
a boy? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So I've told you this before, but like I've been reading Kraven the Hunter like in the Squirrel Girl comics,
Right.
where he's just basically like a parody, right? So like he's sort of like getting over his man hunting ways because of like Squirrel Girl's adorableness, and now he like goes karaoke with her and her
Like
friends
Elmer
instead.
Yeah,
Fudd, yeah, exactly.
Hunting down Bugs
So,
Bunny and Daffy Duck.
If he came up against Tom Holland's Spider-Man, that's what I would envision. That he would just be like, oh my god, the cuteness of Tom Holland is too much. I cannot hunt men anymore. But the way that but the people that they've got, it's like the Training Day guys.
Yeah.
Right? So like that writer and director definitely sounds to me like it's going to be like serious, like balls to the wall, like this man is the greatest game kind of situation. So I don't know how Tom Holland's going to fit into that.
And also, it's kind of weird too. Like, how much is Tom Holland actually going to be there?
Yeah.
Like, is he making like a quick cameo? Because then it's like for most of the movie, like, what is he doing? And then he's going to try to catch Spider-Man,
Look.
or is he actually going to be a part of this? Like,
It seems that it's possible he could be a part of this. Now, there's also the big thing going around right now is after Far From Home, that deal that Sony and Marvel have, or Disney have, is going to be coming to its end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so whether or not that gets read up, regardless of what happens with Tom Holland and Spider-Man and
Is
these
this
movies,
why Sony's just spitting out like the worst
Just
Spider-Man
right?
movies ever?
Like,
Tom
what are
Holland,
these
regardless,
ideas?
is still Spider-Man for Sony. At the end of the day, this is a Sony movie. So they can do whatever they want with Tom Holland and that contract. Now, my question for Jezzer is, who do you want to play Kraven the Hunter?
Where is he originally from in the comics?
he's like
somewhere
old
in
school
East
English.
Europe?
Yeah, Eastern
Yeah.
Europe.
How about who's that? Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem. Okay, I like that.
You're going with Javier Bardem?
Well, no, I mean, I was gonna say, too bad I can't use Jason Momoa because that's who I would do.
You can. I don't see why you couldn't.
Yeah, okay. Well, Jason Momoa can pull double duty, but Javier Bardem is great.
See, I would choose Joe Manganiello
Okay.
from True Blood. What about you?
I would take a different approach with
Gerard
it.
Butler.
No, because again, like you look at Craven, but I would like again like that look doesn't kind of fit like a modern take for me. So if I was gonna do like a modern dude,
Hugh
like,
Jackman.
no, like it's somebody who's like hunting
Alexander
somebody
Skarsgård.
who's gonna be like like probably like actual like military style with like all these guns and whatnot, and somebody who's actually worked with his direction for and might be able to pull it off. And I actually like this guy. He's actually a good actor. I feel like he kind of gets slept on. Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. Okay.
Yeah, I think he could pull like a good
On the
modern.
short side.
I don't know. On short
kinda-
side.
he's
Yeah, that way he can like crouch in the bushes when he's
Yeah,
hunting,
exactly.
You know.
And plus, he's a dope actor. Like I know people hate on him.
Now.
Dude, you did not like SWAT?
No, I didn't.
Jezzer, you like SWAT. I know you like SWAT. Yeah, that's right, Jezzer.
But I wouldn't cast him as Craven.
Yeah.
I think that was terrible.
I
I don't know what Marvel or what Sony and their superhero deal is. It seems like they're on the fast track to still make their not to say Suicide Squad, Sinister Six movie.
Right. That's right.
But I'm hoping that never comes to fruition.
You're hoping it never comes to fruition.
Super chat.
We do got a super chat says next we need a Paste Pot Pete movie and Looter. Who's Paste Pot Pete?
He's a Fantastic Four villain.
Oh, is that
That
the
sounds
glue
that
gun and
sounds
shit
about
like that.
right. The way
Yeah,
that they're
he's
going.
hilarious, yeah.
That'll be next.
But I mean, look, I mean,
I was gonna say Stiltman.
we
but-
can make fun of that all we want, but let's be real. Marvel and Disney did make Rocket Raccoon and Groot.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
you know, you kind of got. I think people aren't giving enough things a fair shot.
Also, if you had Craven hunting Venom, that would actually make sense because Venom is like, you know, could be a
anti-hero and
threat.
stuff like this,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like a threat to society. Maybe
Yeah.
you know, we don't know what this is.
You know,
Let's
it'd
go
be a
hunt
cool
him.
story though. What if Spider-Man was not Spider-Man? What if he was Man Spider?
What if it was Spider Pig? What is that? Or Spider Ham. Spider Ham.
Spider-Man.
Hey, honestly, did you guys know Spider Ham's in Into the Spider Verse?
Yeah, we
Yes,
saw the trailer we
yes.
talked about last week.
How amazing!
It's amazing. It's
How
super dope.
amazing!
That movie looks so good.
I'm not gonna hate on Jezzer. That's a damn good idea.
Man Spider?
Because we haven't seen Man Spider done in the movies yet,
No.
and haven't changed him for Man Spider. So you have Craven as this anti-hero kind of deal. He's
And then
coming
you
in
could
like
also
this.
like with
Yeah, it
that
works.
you could have Lizard in there. Mm-hmm. You know, Lizard's is the one that made him turn into Man Spider. He could be hunting two different animals.
I look out of the movies that I'm most anticipating. I'm think Into the Spider Verse. I'm more excited for than I am Aquaman.
Oh,
Yeah.
Into the
no.
Spider Verse has
Yeah.
like this. I'm sure you guys talked about the trailer for Aquaman, right? Last week?
No, we talked about the trailer for Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, then let's talk about the trailer real quick. Oh, look at that! How cool is that right
I'm
now?
so
though?
excited.
It
It
looks
looks,
Looks
so good.
so cool.
It looks so
I mean,
dope.
I think the animation alone is something that has not been seen before, and
Right.
it's
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
man, it's like
Yeah.
looking at a comic book. I'm
Exactly.
so excited for
And
this.
what's dope is like the different animation styles, especially like with the Japanese like Spider Girl.
Mm-hmm.
They could have made her like fit the same style as everybody else, but they chose to make her stand out like that.
It's animated.
Noir
Yeah,
has
it
this,
really
like,
does
noir-
feel like a mixing of the universes.
It does.
for
It's
sure.
brilliant. Like this, I'm looking like it's going to be like the cool thing about this movie is for people who are fans of the book. It's going to be such like continuity, such Easter eggs all the way throughout of it.
I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to be a brilliant movie. And now, something I guess you guys haven't talked about, which we kind of even gazed over, is the last Aquaman trailer.
Right, right.
And we're gonna close it out on this topic. Let's talk Aquaman in the chat. Let's hear your reactions to that trailer that dropped last week. I kind of want to go around and kind of give me your hot take, a real quick hot take on what you thought of that Aquaman trailer. We'll start with you, Jezzer.
Only thing I didn't really like about it was like the Halo looking characters that were chasing Mira and Mira's hair. I didn't like Mira's hair.
You know, like,
I don't like his hair either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Everything
doesn't
else
look
looked
that
cool,
great.
though.
I mean, I feel like the CGI is still kind of like, you know, it could be better. But the tone, I mean, I like the tone. You know, like given that this isn't really the Aquaman from the comics that we know, I think that they've at least achieved a consistency.
What do you
from
think
his
of
first
Black
appearance.
Manta's look?
Dude, I think it
Yeah.
looks awesome.
I think that's one of the
Straight
better
out of the
parts.
comics,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure, for sure. I'm definitely.
What about
looking
you,
forward to
Johnny?
that.
What'd you think?
I'm kind of excited for it. Like when I
I
go
am
see
too.
when I go see Aquaman, to be real with you, because like what's homie's name? That's directing Justin Lin.
Just
Wan.
James Wan, you
James
racist?
James
sorry.
Wan.
jeez,
Racist.
you racist.
I'm just everything tonight.
Come on, sir.
I hate you so much. But I'm sorry, but like
Mister.
honestly, when I go to see this, I'm kind of looking at it as like the super version of like Fast and Furious. It looks like he's just
Look at
having-
that beautiful
he's just having
costume.
fun with
And
it.
it
Jesus.
should look like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah,
That's his thing.
And only that though, but like again, Jason Momoa is the perfect guy to play this, like especially with
I
his
mean,
director. It's gonna be dope.
I originally was not sold on Jason Momoa's Aquaman, and it's so funny because if you think in your head, and everybody knows this as a joke. Remember the New 52 when everyone would kind of crap on Aquaman,
Right.
being like. And even in Robot Chicken, they make fun of Aquaman. and you think, how are they going to, and Entourage too, how are they going to bring this stupid
I'm still waiting
costume
for
to
that
life?
Vincent Chase Mandy Moore Aquaman
Right?
movie.
But look at this.
Oh, nice.
I
James
swear to you,
Cameron.
nobody
James-
can rock
James Cameron.
the original Aquaman suit
Right.
besides that dude.
I mean, Jason
I will
Momoa
say
makes
this,
it look
though.
badass.
I will say this though, the only thing it does look dope, but I feel like it should have been sleeveless and it worked a little bit better.
Nah, I'm down with this. I love this
Also,
look.
I just have to say that no matter how bad, if this movie even looked bad, no matter how bad it was, I would have to go see it to support Amber Heard. So there you go.
Why Amber Heard?
Because I support Amber Heard. You know,
No, I don't
support
know.
women, abuse by men.
I was gonna say you support women. You can watch any movie
No,
that has a woman in it.
I'm talking about supporting Amber Heard as a victim who has spoken out. Gosh.
I thought you meant just supporting Amber Heard just to support her. Anyway, Aquaman. By the way, she looks like fucking Ariel in The Little Mermaid. But Aquaman, I did do too. But Aquaman looks great. I think that, and I love the tone that they set automatically when he's like, when he does that drop of water from his forehead, he's like, I could have just peed on it. I think that it's brilliant. I like kind of like the tone that they're going with, and I think if anything, James Wan knows how to make a movie on smaller budgets and make them look great.
I will say that he also knows how to work with an actor who may not be able to act.
Ah, yeah.
You may not be able to act.
Dude, he worked with Vin Diesel for years.
That's a shot. That's a shot,
I'm
brother.
sorry. So this is
Shooting.
working.
Yeah.
But I will admit though, the mirror, dude, she just looked too fake.
Yeah.
Like it's just too much makeup.
I was
Attractive
excited.
CGI
I was
stuff.
excited seeing Nicole Kidman fight in that.
Yeah. Dude, Nicole Kidman's like ageless.
Yeah.
She really is though.
She and Kate Blanchett, man.
Yeah, they look
I
great.
want those secrets.
I think that this Aquaman movie just looks a lot of fun. I'm excited for the Patrick Wilson looks great as the brother.
I'm excited for the soundtrack.
Yeah, man. I think the movie. I think that with Wonder Woman, Aquaman, James Gunn possibly doing the Suicide Squad movie, you're gonna start, and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
That's right.
It almost seems like you're seeing DC do this turn where it's like, oh, so they're not terrible.
Right.
Let's just make
At the
fun
very least, they're
movies.
actually making movies.
Yeah.
Again, instead of announcing them and then dropping them.
And it's cool, interesting. Like as an OG, like comic book fan and everything like that, it's crazy to see like the movie universe is kind of made with the actual comic book universes. How like sometimes Marvel's ahead, but all of a sudden DC makes some strong moves and they come ahead. So it's dope to see this. Honestly, at the end of the day, no one's cheering against DC.
Right.
We want good movies. We want them to do well. They just haven't been doing so. So these movies that look like they're going to put out now, it looks like they're starting to find their niche and starting to understand their characters.
Yeah, and it
more.
doesn't have to be like a battle between them. You know, like just because you go see Marvel movies doesn't mean you're not going to go see DC movies.
I mean,
They
I
gotta
feel
watch
that on the
both.
internet, some people are
Yeah, people
pro
want to make it a
pro Marvel and,
Yeah.
and less pro DC, and I think we all kind of get content. And I guess there's that X-Men camp that people are like, oh, it's a whatever. I
the
think
X-Men camp.
I think that
No,
I'm
it's
excited.
legit. It's legit. People like X-Men's not part of Marvel. It kind of is. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it is.
Well,
But-
yeah. Studio
hey,
wise.
so I don't. Do you have the video prepped for?
It's 10 minutes.
No, that's all good. It's all good. So we could do that next week. Next week, I'm going to tease this. This is called what you call a tease. Next week, I interview Zach Levi, Shazam. So we're going to talk about that. And
That one looks really good.
It does look good. And more on superhero news. But until that, we are going to close out this show. Jezzer, in his final hurrah on this show, until he has to fill in for when one of us aren't here. Where can everybody find you on the soch?
All social media at Jezzer Zeus.
And possibly on a game show.
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding. I'm just
show.
kidding.
What?
Anyways,
come on.
Johnny, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at JohnnyP313 on Instagram, Twitter, and on Gumroad, where my books are for sale.
And not in Detroit because that place burnt down.
It is amazing. It is on the rebound. We coming back, just like the Pistons.
it's not.
Tatiana on social media, and talk to us about your podcast.
Oh, okay. So you can find me at Marcella's Ear on Twitter and Instagram, or at Valerie M. Perez on Tumblr. And you can also find me at The Flash Podcast, where we talk about The Flash every week. And also another podcast called Ladies with Gumption, where we talk about all the ladies of DC and how much gumption they possess.
Very cool.
Awesome.
You can find me at that hashtag Joan on social media. And if you're in the Chicago area this weekend, be sure to tweet me, and we'll do a meetup.
The gun thing is kind of,
What you going to Chicago for?
yeah, that's...
No, there's secrets. Never mind.
I'm going to Chicago for a film festival.
Oh, dope.
I'm gonna
fancy.
be interviewing Michelle Rodriguez for second time in 2 weeks, and Jezzer gets mad about
The
it.
second time in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
You come up with new questions every time?
Yeah, it's 2 different movies though.
Oh, okay.
And I'll see a few other actresses. But guys, thank you guys so much for joining us this week on the Superhero News Network, where you get your weekly fix of the latest superhero geek news. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending.
In
In
geek
geek
pop
pop culture.
culture.
Oh, you're gonna have
I
to
didn't
learn
know
that. You're gonna have to
In
learn
geek pop
that.
culture.
All right, guys, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Deuces.